let's jump right into it.
Today, we are announcing the arrest of 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht for igniting a fire that ultimately burned down the Palisades earlier this year, killing 12 people, destroying more than 6,800 structures, both homes and businesses, and damaging over 1,000 more buildings. The complaint unsealed today charges the defendant with destruction of property by means of fire, a felony that carries a mandatory minimum 5-year federal prison sentence and is punishable by up to 20 years in federal prison. The defendant was arrested yesterday on a federal criminal complaint near his Florida residence, and he's expected to make his initial appearance today in the federal court in Orlando, Florida. I stress that the complaint contains allegations, and every defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The allegations in the affidavit are supported by digital evidence, including the defendant's ChatGPT prompt of a dystopian painting showing in part a burning forest and a crowd fleeing from it. And we're going to put that up on the screen here once we get that going. The allegations are, there it is. That's from his ChatGPT. That's an image he produced a few months before the fire started. It shows the city being burned there. The allegations are further supported by the defendant's cell phone, his false statements to law enforcement, and his behavior during the Lockman fire, which the defendant is charged with maliciously starting shortly after midnight on New Year's Day of this year, and which eventually became the Palisades fire. Late last New Year's Eve, Rinderknecht returned to Pacific Palisades after working the evening shift as an Uber driver. 2 of his passengers told law enforcement that he appeared agitated and angry that night. After dropping off a passenger in Pacific Palisades, Rinderknecht parked his car and tried and failed to contact a former friend. He exited the car, walked up a nearby trail, took iPhone videos at a nearby hilltop, and listened to a rap song whose music video including objects being lit on fire. The defendant had listened to this song and watched its music video repeatedly in the days leading up to the Lockman fire. 12 minutes into the new year, environmental sensing platforms indicated that a fire had started. It took the defendant several tries to contact 911 to report the fire. He fled the scene in his car, but turned around after passing fire engines driving in the opposite direction to fight the fire.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me this man set the fire, called the police, tried to be like a witness, and then he before that he was watching a bunch of music videos talking about burning stuff down, so watching people burn stuff down, and then before that he was typing in stuff on ChatGPT, trying to look at images of burnt cities with citizens running away. Yes, you are innocent until proven guilty. But he's looking guilty to me. But hey, like I always say, we got to go through the court system, and we got to let him be judged by a jury of his peers. That is the society we live in. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Fight the fire. While the Lockman fire burned, the defendant walked up the same trail from earlier that night to watch the fire and firefighters, using his iPhone to take short videos of the scene. Although firefighters suppressed the blaze, the fire continued to smolder and burn underground within the root structure of the dense vegetation. So that fire started on January 1st, and it smoldered underground for about a week until on January 7th, heavy winds caused this underground fire to surface and spread above ground.
Absolutely crazy. Let's go over into this next video. Like he said, he was denied bail. Good. Let's get into it.
New details now about the man accused of starting the Palisades fire. Today, he was in a courtroom in Florida, and so was Guad Venegas. He reports for both NBC4 and Telemundo 52. He's got the latest developments, including what the man's attorney is saying about the evidence that prosecutors say proves their case.
Good afternoon. Lots of new details and also an emotional day for family members of the man accused of starting the Palisades fire here at this federal courtroom in Orlando. This was the second hearing for the suspect. He had a quick hearing yesterday, about 10 minutes, where he was assigned a federal public defender. Today, the judge had this hearing, which was a detention hearing, to decide if the suspect would be allowed to post bail. Now, ultimately, that was denied, but we did learn a lot of new details. Prosecutors bringing in an ATF agent, that is, who was part of the investigation and also part of the team that arrested the suspect on October 7th. Through that agent in court today, we learned that the suspect had moved to Pacific Palisades between 2020 and 2021 with his former significant other and had remained there until 2023 when, according to the agent, the suspect moved to Hollywood. And then, of course, he's accused of starting that fire at the end of 2024. The agent today also saying that the suspect drove from California to Florida a few months ago and moved in with his sister, his brother-in-law, and their two children. The agent also talking about two incidents at that home in September where police were called. The first, a disturbance where, according to the agent, the brother-in-law of the suspect had called police because of an argument the suspect had with his sister. Eventually, according to the agent, the suspect saying he would burn down the house. And then later, also in September, there was a second incident where the suspect's father, who lived in France, came to Florida and called police, indicating that he believed his son had a weapon in the home. Now, ultimately, the suspect had not been arrested because, according to police and the agent today, he did not break any laws, but there was a discussion about his family asking him to leave that home. Ultimately,
come on now. Come on. You mean to tell me this man threatened to burn down the house? Threatened to people with weapons, his own family? And this is the suspect that they are looking at for starting the Palisades fire. That ended up killing 12 people. No, let me double check that to make sure, because that's what they said in the first video. But we always want to be sure of our information before we just go out and say something. Let's see how many. Good Google search will. How many people died from the Palisades fire? Let's see. The blaze, which erupted on January 7th, killed 12 people, destroyed 6,000 homes and buildings. Okay, absolutely crazy. But let's keep going into this.
the suspect would be arrested on October 7th in connection to the Palisades fire. And what I should add today is that the family members were present, at least two sisters who were emotional. They cried when the judge decided to deny bail. And the public defender also indicated that the family is supporting the suspect, also asking the judge to go to the psychiatrist that has been seeing the suspect and have that psychiatrist give him a new mental evaluation. But for now, we know that he will remain under custody, and the next hearing has been set for October 17th. Back to you.
Okay, so he was seeing a psychologist. So obviously he's dealing with some kind of mental problems, or he's just trying to get through his problems and talk them out with someone. But let's go through this next video where we can hear the after actions that of the fire department and what they had to go through with the Palisades fire. Let's get into it.
Same day, federal authorities announced an arrest in connection with the Palisades fire. Local fire officials released a report detailing their response to the catastrophic blaze. The after-action report details a series of challenges that tested the LAFD's ability to contain and control the fast-moving fire.
KTLA Sandra Mitchell is live in downtown LA with more on the findings outlined in that 70-page report. Sandra.
Micah, a new insight from this report tonight, and it is really just incredible what these crews were up against, working 36-hour shifts without a break in really extreme conditions, all because the fire department did not have enough firefighters on duty. As the Palisades fire ripped through the community, LA firefighters lacked the resources to attack the wind-whipped flames, and communications were inadequate to safely
Oh
evacuate
my God.
thousands of people. Those are some of the conclusions of the LA City Fire Department's After Action Report. The review, released today, just hours after federal investigators announced the arrest of a Florida man for maliciously setting the January fire.
I hope it gives some closure as it relates to some of the anxiety that may have been felt. How did this happen? Who's responsible? Can this happen again? What lessons we learned?
Governor Newsom today reacting to the arrest and the months long investigations. The LAFD's 72-page report provides insight into what fire crews were up against, describing conditions as a perfect storm fueled by hurricane level winds. Among the conclusions, ineffective processes for recalling off duty fire crews, fire chiefs with inadequate experience to handle a major incident, and a delay in evacuation orders, which caused people to jam roads and block fire crews.
So it was just a whole storm of problems coming down from administration itself or the fire department itself. People aren't prepared for it. They weren't trained good enough, it sounds like. They weren't ready to handle a type of fire like this. Their procedures weren't adequate enough to stop something like this. Yeah, they got to go through a whole revamp. A whole revamp. Let's keep going.
12 people died in the fire, more than 6,800 structures burned.
I don't know that you ever feel satisfied.
LA Mayor Karen Bass said today, 10 months after the fire, she is still focused on the victims.
Concern for the families that lost their homes, the individuals that lost their lives, the firefighters that risked their lives for days and days.
Governor Newsom saying the state has commissioned an independent two-part report. The first part of that report will be released in about 2 weeks.
This is done without political interference, and now the facts need to be pursued without any bias or political interference. And I just want to know the facts, period.
After the fire, Mayor Karen Bass then demoted Fire Chief Kristen Crowley. And now 8 months later, she still has not appointed a new permanent fire chief. We're live tonight outside the fire headquarters.
What do you mean she hasn't appointed a new fire chief yet? Maybe it takes some time to get one, but come on now. You can't be without a fire chief just in case something else happens. They just was experiencing where the fire chief was not adequate enough to handle this type of situation. They got to find somebody quick. You can't be without somebody in that position to take lead or handle this situation when it pops up. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. He is innocent until proven guilty. He is innocent until proven guilty. So we just got to wait for more facts to come out. But it's a tragedy. 12 people lost their lives because of this. We got to pray for the victims. Pray for the people who lost their homes. I can't imagine dealing with that. Insurance hopefully is going to take care of everything, but everything in the house is going to have to be replaced. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Now, listen, you have to. It's nothing really to say. You can't really be careful. You just gotta. Things like this happen out of nowhere sometimes. You just gotta pray and be prepared. And try to prepare yourself for the best you can. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. All right, everybody. Remember, this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like,